And welcome everybody. Today is our first English program. I am glad to receive here my dear friend Yanna Immis. How are you?
Good. Surviving.
Well, thank you for the invitation, for the acceptation of the invitation for this program. And I want to ask you, what motivated you when you were a kid to fly around the world? Before this, and you think about it, Yanna is, she's an entrepreneur. She has a Fight Club. Nobody has to know about Fight Club. Nobody speaks about it. But she studied business and finance. And right now she's living in Mexico City and she speaks Japanese, German, English, Spanish, and I don't know, Russian, of course, because she's from Russia. And this is a very nice interview. You'll see it. So tell me something about your childhood and why did you decide to fly around the world?
Well, I studied foreign languages all my life. And for me, languages bring you closer to the cultures. And with learning English since I have been 3 years old.
Why?
Why? Because in Russia, it's a package of middle-class family.
Okay.
You play piano, you do tennis, and you learn English.
A
package of three.
Okay.
If your parents have money, they're trying to give you the most.
Okay.
And these three are mostly available.
Okay.
These three things. And then, so I learned English. I didn't have, at three, I didn't choose yet.
Okay.
And so I learned English and then I was playing with Americans computer games. So when all of my friends were playing computer games during the day, I was playing during the night because it was cheaper. And during the night, you could play with Americans. And so my English...
Start to evolve.
Exactly. So I spoke English way better than the majority of people I knew back then. And I felt like, okay, well, what's the next step then? I don't belong here. Like, I speak English better than Russian. I have to go. And so I asked my parents to send me to study abroad, and they said no.
Well, supposedly, yeah. They did it right, but they didn't succeed.
And that's when I learned my first negotiation skills. Every single day, brainwashing my father, I don't belong here. I don't belong here. This is not who I am.
Poor of your father, because let me tell you this, guys. This girl has a bit of energy that you're going to see it. Okay, so your father finally...
After a year and a half, he was like, you know what? I'm going to give her a task she cannot fulfill so that she stops. But if she survives the task, I will send her to study abroad. So he told me, you have to score all A's or B's in your university studies in the semester, and you can go. Which was impossible because I was between C and D. No, D and F.
Back then.
I was skipping classes. I was a bad student. I didn't care.
And that's why he decided to do that, to assign you that task. So he believed that you wouldn't make it, right?
So, but instead of studying, I just realized which professors are important to pass. I came to the professors and I said, if you give me a B, you will never see me again. Because they seriously... I was annoying them because I didn't want to study during the class. I was in my laptop or something. They were like, just go. So seriously, we're never going to see you again? And all of them gave me A's. And I came with a book to my father, like a book of notes.
And for the record, this is a business channel. So excellent negotiation skills. Congrats. Okay.
For real. They were like, are you sure we're never going to see you again? Mm-hmm. And that's it. So he was like, well, I'm a man of word.
Yes.
Go choose the country.
And you choose the States?
I actually chose Toronto in Canada to study journalism because it sounded really cool. But right before applying for a visa to Canada, I flew to Sweden for a championship for computer games.
Because she also is a professional video game player.
I used to be, until 27.
Used to be. Not now anymore, but it's like, okay.
You have to choose life or gaming.
Oh, really?
It doesn't go together. Yeah,
really?
No. You have to choose to be, either you're a professional player and you earn, or it's a big waste of time at the end. Like, no. Yes. Decide. My father told me in every activity in your life, either you score high and get the test score or get competitive and win, or drop it because it's then a waste of time.
And when you were a professional, how many hours do you play a day?
12 hours a day.
12? Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, please go on.
And now I was very big. And
well,
I had no friends and no life.
Really?
But I was hiding in the computer games.
Oh, wow. It makes sense. But I wouldn't imagine. Okay.
Yeah. So what happened? I was supposed to go to Canada, supposed to apply for visa, but I flew to the championship. It's called DreamHack in Sweden, and I met all the people I used to be playing with for years, and they're all cool. And they're all,
Like Zoom in this era, no? You knew him, you knew these guys, but only in video games.
exactly. But they were so cool, and they were in Europe. Canada is too far, and I was like, Dad, I changed my mind. I'm going to Europe instead. What do you mean? Like, why? Oh, you always told me Germany is great because my father did army in Germany.
Oh,
It's
wow.
safe, you told me. And so I convinced them that Germany was their choice.
That
And
was
so
easy.
I chose Munich, south of Germany, and I moved when I was 17.
Bayern.
Bayern München. I moved to do my bachelor, and I stayed then.
Okay. And how come you learn Japanese?
So everything in life that I do, I reach a certain ceiling. Well, it's just in work, it's called glass ceiling. But I apply a method: you earn or you learn, right? If you don't earn and learn, quit. So when once my boss told me, you can't take this vacation, it's too long, I quit because nobody tells me what to do.
Okay.
So I was like, I want to go to China to learn Chinese because it's like a thing. Started learning Chinese, too difficult, no, drop it. What looks like Chinese, but it's easier, Japanese.
Oh, really?
Because Japanese...
I don't know any of them, so I don't know.
Japanese, they took symbols from China, so they stole the letters kanji from China, simplified it, added endings and 2 more alphabets. 1 alphabet to explain in a simple alphabet things, and 2nd alphabet for foreign words.
Okay.
So, for example, chair is chair, or table is teburu, or friend is furendo. So they have an alphabet for these words.
Yeah.
And so I understood. I already know half of Japanese because I know English words.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, easy. So I chose Japan because it was easier than Chinese.
Oh my God. Well, if you say, I have to believe that because I really don't know.
It really is.
And I want to ask you, you were in Ireland working for Microsoft.
Yeah.
How was that experience? And tell us something about it.
Yeah, so I've been to a few places, right? Because like the moment I realize I'm in stagnation, I need to move, I need to change a country. You don't just change a country because you have to have income or friends living there or education. Something has to be there because why would you go just like that? I think if you just go like that, it's like a waste of time. So I was like, Ireland. I didn't think about Ireland. I was thinking it's Christmas, it's COVID. I can't go to Russia because I don't have Russian passport. I can't go to Germany because it's super boring. If you lean out of the balcony, they arrest you for COVID because you can spread it. Yeah. It's crazy. And so where do I go? If the money is running out, it's Christmas, I need to get a job. So I started applying for many jobs. It took me 3 months, 72 interviews I counted.
72? Oh my God, okay.
No, I was like, my eye was twitching. Same story again and again, right?
And then, the interviews.
And when I already didn't care anymore, I was like, you know what? Might as well be homeless. I don't know. I received 3 job offers on the same day. Google, Microsoft with full relocation, and a startup job offer. And I took all of them.
All of them? Oh my God.
because in big companies, they don't just give you an offer. They do a background check.
Okay, yes.
And I am German, but I was Russian. And it's an American company.
Oh my God, yeah. That could
so I
be
knew
a
it's
problem.
going to take them months to check my documents, and I don't have months. So I'll take all of them.
You need to earn money and you need to live, and okay.
I would take all of them, and whoever pays first, pays first. And whenever the time comes to quit, I quit. Because if the company ever thinks, oh my God, we can't fire this person, like we don't have enough money, but we can't fire them. Do you think they're going to fire you if they need to save money? Why would you have to think, oh my God, it's not nice for a company? Do it. Just take the jobs. Be egoistic. Think about yourself. They will forget you very quick. So I took all of the offers. And then I ended up with Microsoft because in COVID, they paid my flights. Because when Microsoft at the end said, yes, you're good, I already moved to South Africa. I was already living in South Africa in COVID and enjoying the beach and hiking and paragliding. And then they said, we pay your flights from wherever you are. Oh, then might as well be far. Pay my flights from South Africa to come back. And they gave me a flat for 3 months. They gave me a relocation package, 100% commission for 3 months. And they gave me like...
And then you made like $1 million business, right? You were like
Yeah, I couldn't
you
believe
have
it.
this. Yeah, exactly.
I actually read the email and I was like, no, that's too good to be true. I go, Mom! Not only I'm hired by Microsoft, which for Russia or for all my friends is like, wow. Also that they give me all these things. I literally checked if it's spam. Like, it's like not spam, but like, you know, the ones where they send you an email saying, you won
like
a
a fraud.
lottery.
Yeah, of
Fraud.
course.
I didn't believe it. And I was like, are you sure? So I called the numbers to confirm, So yeah, no, it was the best job ever. Microsoft is the best company ever. Like, I really love them.
You were telling me that, and please tell us something about it.
About Microsoft?
Yeah.
So in any possible way, like when people talk about what's the best paying job in the world, and people say like, oh, you have to be this or tech, the best job in the world is sales.
Of course. I agree with that.
If it's uncapped commission, it only depends on your intelligence, your skills, and your ability to survive, to earn as much as you can earn. And so Microsoft has uncapped commission. They give you goals, but if you surpass them, it's only getting on top. So yeah, I was Russian and German speaking sales for Azure. Azure is, so if you are a small company, you probably choose Google Cloud. If you're a big company, you probably choose Microsoft or AWS. People don't think other than that. They only choose Amazon or Microsoft. And when you call people, you don't have to present, you don't have to sell your company, but everybody knows Microsoft. So
Of course.
it was pretty easy. And
Allegedly. Because
knowing the languages,
yeah, of course.
the product is good.
Yeah.
So if the product is good and the people know the name of the company, like what else do you have to sell? You just have
make
to inquire.
connections to
Smile,
make this
wave.
human relationships
Exactly.
and to close the selling, right?
But at the same time, I'm doing sales in a different way. I'm genuinely trying to understand, like, is who we are, is that what you actually need? Because if not, we're not going to waste time here. I move to the next lead because I'm pretty straightforward. I'm
Yeah,
not
and practical.
bullshit sales. Yeah.
You can tell 10 minutes and everybody knows that you're a very practical person.
Black and white.
That's great.
Yeah.
And how did you make this $1 million business?
You mean the Fight Club or you mean
No,
Microsoft?
Fight Club is becoming one unicorn, but in Microsoft, you were like on top of the sales.
I was very good at what I do. So first of all, I use my languages and cultural awareness because of traveling around the whole world. When you talk to people, you know their culture, it's way easier.
Of course. You know what the topics and what.
With Austria, I used to sell to Austrian government. You don't talk about business. You talk about mountains, beer, nature, how work less and earn more.
That's very interesting because I want to ask you right now that you come to this point. What can you tell us about all these cultures that you have known? What are the dots that you can connect that everybody wants, that everybody is like universal language? What can you tell us about?
So people are probably not going to tell you, but they're going to appreciate if you know their language.
Of course.
So the first step to always doing business with any culture is assigning somebody who knows the language or learning the language. 100%. With learning the language comes understanding of the culture, traditions, and you get invited more.
Of course.
And once you get invited into the groups, surroundings, or events of the company or peers, listen, right? Listen. And as a salesperson in the past, I did like 11 years of mistakes where I used to think sales need to sell and tell. No, sales need to listen and ask right questions.
Of course.
It took me 11 years. 11 years I did it wrong. For 2 years, I have been doing it right. And then I was like, that's how you win at life.
I discovered it, finally. Okay.
Yeah, so language and then asking the right questions. And for me, I do not sell if I don't believe in a product. So when I receive offers...
That's like a very golden rule that you have to pursue.
Yeah.
And well, Microsoft, like you said, is very well known, and you, of course, knew the product.
Product is constantly evolving. Every 6 months, Microsoft changes, updates, things. You lose track. It's an amazing company, and it's an amazing product. I sold Azure, so the cloud services. Cloud services have 500 services inside them. It's a lot. It's for the technical guys. I sell Surface, but I know it's good. Yeah, but that is applicable to big companies. In small companies, I think the strategy is a little bit different, right? Because every niche has its own target group. And I would say then, in this case, the most important is defining your target persona right. And their needs, problems, challenges, or arousing emotions, and knowing where they hang out. when you know where your target group, the exact target group hangs out, to be there. Comfortably placing yourself next to them as a small business. And give first. Small businesses only survive with giving first for the first 2 years. Like giving things for free, giving trials, helping others, and then in 2 years it comes back.
Yeah, I think that you're right. And you were telling me that in Microsoft you realized that the HR department were like the ones who rule the company in terms in terms of they can assign you to a better position, and your boss, he wouldn't know until you are assigned to the next position.
Yes, so
tell us something, because
it
here in
depends
Mexico
on the
it's different.
country. It depends on the company. For example, Ireland is known to be tax heaven for big corps, for big tech companies, because they pay 1% tax, and so employees have to spend the money inside the country.
Of course,
that's the agreement. And so in this case, HR rules. It has more power than managers in comparison to other countries where managers are the decisive factor. If you get promotion, etc. In Microsoft, no, it's HR. So you are allowed, without letting anybody know, apply internally to another role in Microsoft. And you get it. And only then you let your manager know, bye.
Yeah, I think that is awesome, because sometimes the manager, they won't let you go.
Mostly if you're a good performer.
If you're a good performer, you please, you're a keeper and you're not going anywhere, right?
There's two types of managers, right? The ones that are there to uplift you and give you all the resources for you to advance as a person. And there's managers that are focused on their own goals, because they're shared between the team's commissions in sales. So you should quickly realize what kind of manager you have.
Okay.
And then if you are trusting your manager, then of course you can tell him everything. In Microsoft, my friends, they were really agitated by their managers. Yes, apply to that role. You're worth it. You should. But my manager was like, you're not ready yet. And I was like, you don't tell me what to do.
Of course, I am ready since
in a
the
bit
day
more polite word.
Yeah. Okay, so we are finishing this session, but I want to ask you, how come you came to Mexico?
So when I lived in Japan, I finally recovered from jet lag. I opened the door and there was a girl standing. And I was like, oh, hey, hi, I'm Mexican from Toluca, and you?
From Toluca?
I'm still friends with her. Jackie, she's here. She came to my first events of Fight Club.
Okay.
And she's head of purchasing in Liverpool. So she introduced me to other girls from Interlomas, Satélite, Pedregal, and Santa Fe.
In Japan? Okay.
And I had a gang of Mexicans in Japan. So when we were all leaving Japan, I should have thought back then, if you're Mexican and you can afford 2 years of life at private university in Tokyo and without working, you probably should have money.
Well, it looks like.
But I didn't think about that back then. So when they invited me to visit here in Mexico,
you were like, wow.
Do Mexicans live like that? Gardeners, drivers, security guards, cage community, like huge houses. What?
What is this?
And Mexican hospitality. They took me every day. Teotihuacan, Tepoztlan, magical towns, like amazing food, restaurants on top of the Templo Mayor. No, Mexico is nice.
It's great. Now you know it.
Oh, now I know. That was 2017.
Okay.
Since 2017.
7 years, almost 8.
I kept coming back every year to discover more and more and more. And one day I was like, it's too expensive to come back. I have to stay.
All right.
And so it was.
So let's stay there, and please tell us where the people can find you.
Where can you find me? Me as a person?
Well, I think that maybe now is the time to say about Fight Club.
My name is Yanna Immis. I live in Mexico City now, and I do the best events experiences to connect Mexican and foreign founders in Mexico City to do business, make friendships. And my business is called Fight Club, and my name is Yanna Immis. I think the best channel these days is LinkedIn, to find each other, to find the project, and to see how trustworthy is this project, and to see what people say, right? Because people love people. Okay.
So we don't talk about Fight Club, but in our next session, we're going to talk about Fight Club. So stay tuned. Thank you, Yanna, for being here.
Thank you.
Ciao.